All right, guys, thanks a lot. Excellent coverage. Eric Clemens back at our FX studios. Think the San Francisco 49ers pretty happy with the performance of Dave Barr, 23 of 31, 206 yards. Not bad for the young quarterback. Up next, Barcelona and the Rhine Fire for the Fire's opener in Dusseldorf. The Fire dead last year, but this season they hope to turn their fortunes for the positive.
Through Dusseldorf, Germany, runs the Rhine River. It is the heart and soul of this storied city. And the pulse of the Rhine Fire is NFL veteran T.J. Rubley, who's played for the Rams, Packers, and is allocated by the Denver Broncos.
Being with John Elway for a camp and mini camps and everything has really helped my huddle manner. He's an incredible guy in the huddle, and I try to take some of the things that apply to my personality and my character that help me with that.
I kind of compare him to a Brett Favre. He doesn't have quite as strong as an arm, but he tries to squeeze the ball where there's a little hole in between, and he's a good leader.
Wide receiver is one position in which Rhine is on fire.
It starts with Mike Drittline and Bill Schrader. I mean, they're two guys that I don't think anyone can run with, and we'll try to test people on that. You know, until they prove us wrong, we're going to still think they're the fastest two guys in the league.
And the Fire will simmer on the ground. A three-pronged attack led by World League veteran Derek Clark, speedy Antoine Carter, and former Cleveland Brown Ricky Powers.
Guys still need to learn technique, and you still got some young guys coming in, too, that just never had the experience in the NFL, so that puts them back a little bit. But the guys in the World League learn technique, they can take it to the next level.
Now, you can't accuse us of playing favorites here on the FX studio portion of our World League coverage. We looked at the Rhine Fire that time, but their opponents, of course, tonight, the Barcelona Dragons. Here's a look at their fortunes, and they expect to roar on defense in '97.
On the northeast coast of the Iberian Peninsula lies the enchanted city of Barcelona, which is dominated by the spectacular Montjuic Palace. For the Dragons, the man who would be king is Seattle Seahawks quarterback John Kitna. His NFL coach knows what the World League can do for him.
We think he's got great potential, but he just needs to play. And the 10 or 11 games that he's going to play in the World League will really help him. And he's got a very good arm, and he's very athletic. And so we're excited about having him have the opportunity to play.
Another bird battling for the throne is Arizona Cardinal Stoney Case, who's had a taste of the NFL.
You know, the NFL is great, and I just can't wait to be a full-time starter there.
Through the air, Case and Kitna will look for two Barcelona veterans, Alfonso Browning, who won a Super Bowl ring with the 49ers in 1994, and former Denver Bronco Bryce Burnett. On the ground, 1996 Dragon Terry Wilburn will breathe fire, with Chicago Bear Michael Hicks seeing plenty of action. One player on defense that will make the big plays is Carl Reeves, a defensive end allocated by the Bears.
He's definitely going to benefit from this, and then in turn, if he gets his confidence back, he'll be that much better player for the Bears.
I enjoy playing for Coach Weinstead because he's very intense, and that's the way I like to play the game.
And we're just a few more minutes away from Game 2 of our twin bill here on FX, World League Weekend. Earlier, of course, you just saw, many of you, the Scottish Claymores defending World Bowl champions, a 16-3 victory over the Amsterdam Admirals. Claymores really dominating, especially in the second half on defense. They got 6 sacks on the evening, and the Amsterdam offense had some trouble on the offensive line. It must improve for the Admirals to have a chance. And Ron Dickerson rushing for 90-plus yards on the evening. We'll be coming back for Barcelona and Rhine Fire, Dusseldorf, Germany's Rheinstadion, in just a few moments. And we'll be here at the FX studios in New York City all evening long to give you all the scores, updates, and highlights. Eric Clemens back at our FX studios in New York. Welcome to World League Weekend. Game number 2 just about to get underway. Many of you just saw the Scottish Claymores defeating the Amsterdam Admirals earlier, 16-3. But now time for Game 2 of our doubleheader. Barcelona and Dusseldorf, Germany. The Rhine Fire getting set for its opening game of the season. Paul Kennedy and Matt Millen are standing by for the call. Let's join them now in Dusseldorf. Gentlemen, take it away.
We begin with that kickoff, the Barcelona Dragons. The lights are on in historic Rhine Stadium. This stadium first built, get this, in 1926, just about the time the National Football League was starting, now in its 8th decade, and we told you it's somewhat like fall weather conditions here in the spring. The temperature, well, Matt, you did the conversion on this, 10 degrees Celsius.
50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Absolutely, that Penn State education. Now, there is Galen Hall, also a former Nittany Lion, entering his 3rd season as the head coach of the Fire. He has gone 4-6 and 3-7 in his last 2 years. McNell, entering his 36th year of coaching, has won more World League regular season games than any other coach with 23. You remember him from his grand years with Boston College. Doug Flutie, of course, the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. To kick it off for Barcelona, a former Air Force officer, graduate of the Air Force Academy, Joe Wood. He'll be kicking deep to Thomas Bailey. One time set all the SEC kickoff return records out of Auburn. And a new season of the World League is underway from Dusseldorf. Here comes Bailey. He's got the 20 and up to the 24-yard line. And that is where Ryan will go to work as it becomes T.J. Rubley's 4th professional football team. Having spent last season in Denver following action in both Green Bay and with the L.A. Rams. And as he says, he's thrilled to be playing again, Matt, rather than holding a clipboard on the sideline.
I think anybody who's competitive wants to get out there and play, and that's what Rubley wants to do. Heck, he's been flopping around. He just wants to get out there, take some snaps, and throw the ball down the field.
The one-back set standard operating procedure this season with most clubs in the World League. And we're going upstairs right away. Rubley airs it out to no one in particular. He throws it to the sideline, and it's 2nd down. Ryan looking forward to fielding its first 100-yard rusher. It has never happened in the history of this ball club. Perhaps today's the day for Twan Carter. You see Schroeder with 4.3 speed, and Michael Dritlin, former Kansas City Chief. Bailey with the opening kickoff. Martin Drever, the designated national starter. He's a Dusseldorf native. 2nd down just inside 25-yard line. And our first penalty flag. Now, neither team has gotten a lot of work in preseason prior to today's game. Mike Pereira, assigned by the National Football League, is our referee. Sacramento, California native.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 77 offense, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
Take a look at the offensive line now as they settle down. Spencer Fallow from Tonga on the left side. Ethan Brooks, the Falcon. Keith Wagner was with Scotland last year when they won the World Bowl. 2nd down now, and the football spotted back at the 20-yard line. Rubley. Underneath he throws, and it's caught up to the 30. And the 34-yard line, about a yard shy of the 1st down. Catch made. A gain on the play of close to 19 yards by Bill Schroeder. That speed underneath. Ivan Imboron, the Spanish native, opens today along the front wall. Leroy Glover, a Raider. Carl Reeves from the Bears and Chicago. That front wall that you've been somewhat impressed with.
I like this. I liked him in training camp last year. He has some great speed. He can get around the corner. And also Leroy Glover right there, number 99 from the Raiders, quick off the ball. They're going to have to get a little bit of a pass rush because it appears to me that they're going to just keep on throwing the football until they can stop it.
Close to being a 1st down, and he should have it. Out of the I set on 3rd down. No score, just underway today from Dusseldorf. 2nd half of our doubleheader of World League action today from Europe. Look at the linebacking core. Willie Smith, Juan Long, Eric Napolsky. Most popular tackler, all-time leading tackler.
And a great head.
Nice haircut. Barcelona history. Seam on the left side. And a rip there for Twan Carter, former All-Pac-10 honoree out of the University of Arizona. And in camp for a couple of years with the Miami Dolphins. There is the secondary. It's been reshuffled this year for Barcelona. Butler Benote, you recall, was a running back at Ohio State and then returned kicks for the Denver Broncos. Under DePola, Carlos Brooks, Michael Wright on the other side. second down. So Rubley on his opening possession. Schroeder in motion to the near side. Carter. Another first down.
Interesting how this thing is working right now. You have to remember right now that the Rhine Fire with T.J. Rubley, they really haven't had any practice together. In fact, this is the first real contact that they have had. And I think when that happens, and it's like a preseason game or early season game in the NFL or NCAA, what happens is you kind of start to have a lot of little mistakes.
And motion on the line.
Defense in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. First down.
One thing you have to remember about Rubley, he is the experienced guy. Head coach Galen Hall is the guy who's going to rely on him with play calling and decision making, and that's a big plus.
That was Imberdan, the Spaniard, in the neutral zone. A quick catch to Schroeder and out of bounds. So just to the sideline for Schroeder. Green Bay Packer out of a Division III program. He was an All-American at track star at Wisconsin lacrosse.
Yeah, it's funny. I talked to him right before the game. I said, look, don't play like a track guy. He said, what's that? I said, just go out there and be a football player. Forget about looking pretty and running fast and all that stuff. Say, the Green Bay Packers like him. They like what he has. They like his speed. They like his versatility. And it's easy to see why. This league is perfect for Schroeder. What he needs is rest. Just needs to get out there, get banged around, run his routes, and just get comfortable catching the ball. I like what he does. The biggest thing he does is he can flat out run.
Galen Hall on to inspect his center, Bob Cronenberg, who was shaken up on the previous play. A veteran out of St. Cloud State. And the trainers are on as well. We are in the first quarter of the first game of 10 in the World League. 6 separate teams covering 5 nations spanning Europe. There's T.J. Rubley. His best seasons, I guess, came with the Rams when they were in Los Angeles.
You know, I'm going to tell you something about Rubley. Rubley is a pretty darn good football player. His biggest problem that he gets is when he gets out and he tries to figure everything out himself instead of just letting himself play. I mean, I had a couple of games. I had the first game he ever played when he was with the Rams, and then I had the last game he had with the Green Bay Packers. And both of those coaching staffs liked him. He had some arm problems for a while. He's over that now. He just wants to play. He's sick of flopping around. He doesn't want to stand around. He wants to compete.
Our look at Bob Cronenberg, who is being assisted from the field. One time he had played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was about 4 seasons ago, and this is his 3rd year in Dusseldorf, and it is not starting out on a good note.
It looks like they were checking that knee in there.
Darren Thorpe will slide over. It's 6'8" to snap the ball. It is second down, and Carter got a bit of a hole, and he spins forward for a couple of yards. We'll set up 3rd and short. The football now in Barcelona territory on the opening possession of this game for Carter and the Rhine Fire. Last year, he gained 110 yards on close to 30 carries. Did Carter. It's Carter, Ricky Powers, the former All-Big Ten selection out of Michigan, and Derek Clark, who will run out of that one-back set. We should see all 3 today, and now they double up on 3rd down, and there goes Schroeder to the far side. Play action. Rubley with time, throws deep, and it is picked off at the 10-yard line. Picked off by Barcelona. Up to the 30, fumbled out of bounds, but it will belong to the Dragons. Michael Wright with the first INT of the season as Rubley went deep downfield and hung it up in the air.
Rubley just didn't see him sitting down deep middle. I mean, he should have thrown the ball to the outside. Receiver had the man beat high to the outside, and he hung the ball to the middle. Free safety just hung. Wright makes the play.
After the interception,
You know watch right in the middle. What's going to happen? They go with a play action pass. The ball is thrown, should be thrown out to the outside.
First down.
See, it has to be thrown out here. The ball's thrown back inside, and that's the difference in that play.
That's Carlos Brooks rather than Michael Wright on the interception, the first turnover of this game. Barcelona goes on offense for the first time and throws complete up to the 39-yard line. The tight end and Bryce Burnett on the receiving end of 24-year-old John Ketna. Sit here by Dennis Erickson and the Seattle Seahawks. And he's quite an impressive young man with one of your nice haircuts, too, there, man.
You know what I liked about that? He gave it to him himself. Said he wanted to save a couple bucks. You gotta like that.
You've heard of the barber of Seville. This is the barber of Barcelona. And John Ketna. Play clock winding down. He just did get it off. Quick hitch far sideline, and that is caught by Marco Martos. The Mexican, the designated national starter from the Universidad de las Americas, UDLA. Now UCLA, it is UDLA. That is Shedrick Wilson. Will be headed with Jeff Fisher to Memphis this year. Terry Wilburn, Alfonso Browning, and Burnett, who made the first grab of the day. And there is Martos after the pick by Brooks. Fumble, loose ball on the ground, and it looks like the line has popped on it. They have recovered. Thurston Allenson at the bottom of the pile.
Dunstan Anderson, who came around the corner and got some pass rush, and that's something that the Ryan had not had last year, and we're looking for this year. I think when you're a young quarterback like Kitna, and you're going to start to get that pressure, you're going to have to learn to make decisions quicker. And if you can, you just have to get rid of that ball. He tried to use his feet to buy some time to get out of there. He left the ball be a little sloppy, and then Anderson was able to slap that thing out.
A turnover for either side. Scoreless on opening day in Dusseldorf. There's Stripson. Who gets
there? You go.
In that?
That's Dunstan Anderson. Right here. Goes with an arm under. Takes the corner. Who's he working on there? Roll it back a little bit, Kenny, if you can. Yeah, go back.
Eric Clemens back at our FX studios in New York. You're watching Game 2 of our World League Weekend doubleheader from Dusseldorf, Germany. The Rhine Fire playing host to the Barcelona Dragons. Now let's get back out to Paul Kennedy and Matt Miller.
Tell me when. Dunstan Anderson, who just beat Darren Thorpe off the court. You're going to watch it right here. He's just going to come right around and works an arm under and gets right to the top side. Now, I want you to watch Kitna. See, he's looking down the field, gets a little sloppy right there. Got to tuck that ball away when you're going to make your move.
Case in point here, T.J. Rubley tucking the ball on a busted play. It appeared to be, again, out of that one back set.
You know, and speaking with the coaching staff of the Rhine Fire, they knew from the start that they were going to have to rely on the experience of T.J. Rubley. And when you can get that passing game going, then they'll start opening it up with little quick running things inside with Antoine Carter.
Rubley on the roll. He'll take off. Inside the 30. And down to the 27-yard line.
You know, regardless, at every level of football, there's something that you can't prepare for. And that's the running of the quarterback. Anytime you're going to have this kind of thing where you're going to take off. Now, he's looking downfield. He sees that there's coverage. Now you just take off and run. The defense never accounts for a running quarterback. Big plays are given up.
That's a first down on the scramble by Rubley. Played, of course, last year in a stacked deck of quarterbacks in Denver. Handoff inside. This is Ricky Powers. And Powers muscling his way, keeping those legs going inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line.
Powers was just a second away from getting tackled in the backfield because Carl Reed's going to watch it right up here at number 90. Chicago Bear just blows up the field and has to make a decision. And he goes with the hand or offer instead of the hand eat. Had he gone for option B, he'd have had himself a loss.
Second and short for the Rhine, their deepest drive of the early going, and here is Powers, and that's another first down. Ricky at the University of Michigan with a great deal of notoriety. Gained more than 2,500 yards in his Wolverine career. Drafted by Detroit. Played a bit with the Cleveland Browns, too, and now in the World League.
But you're going to take a look on the other side of that football when you're Ricky Powers, who you have to watch. The guy they're going to have to be careful of is Carl Reed. I'll tell you why the Bears like him. He's got a tremendous motor. I mean, he never stops. Of course, when you have plays like that to the other side, it doesn't matter if you're stopping or running.
Yeah, 3 straight plays, one too many. Leroy Glover, like yourself, a silver and black wearer for the Raiders with some quickness up front. Now, Carlos Reeves may get a lot of attention outside, Matt, being able to move around in the open field, but Glover can really work between the tackles.
And that's the strength of his defense, those two guys. And so I would expect, if I'm the opposing offense, to be running the opposite side.
Ricky now offset. He'll take the handoff, and he is cracked at the line of scrimmage. Belted by Hugh Hunter, and he falls forward about 1.5 yards. Galen Hall with the headset on.
It's interesting talking to Galen Hall and asked him about this offense. He says, I really don't know what I have yet. I'm going to find out as this game goes on. Keep in mind that they really haven't had much contact offensively, so he's finding out as he goes.
Ken Karcher is offensive coordinator and a former Bronco QB. This is Powers in the flat. Powers, first down, 11-yard line. On the swing pass.
That's a nice touch by Rubla, because Carl Reeves he just came within inches of having a pick.
Got a couple
Reeves
plays.
going to just come right up outside.
74 reports as a tight end, number 74.
Try to cut him, get his hands down. Reeves does a great job of recognizing it, gets his hands back up, but Rubley just was able to sneak that thing over the top and allow Powers to make the reception.
Field goal try now. Manfred Bergsmuller, German soccer hero here, and the legend, building only his second career field goal at the age of 47.
It's a go-ahead big smile.
47. The soccer legend through the uprights, our first score of the season. Galen Smile, you're in front, 3-0 in Germany. Buchsmuller with a 28-yard field goal.
And Buchsmuller.
At the age of 47, that is George Blanda age. Nothing much younger. Atle Larson, he is a Norwegian who played collegiately at Virginia Tech, the Big East. Deep end on the return for Barcelona. 84 Tyree Davis can really scoot. Terry Wilburn is back there as well. Try to give Atle some options. His foot is into it. A short kick will be taken by an up man, just shy of the 20. And rolled up is Michael Hicks, the 22, and that is where Barcelona will return to the field. A blustery day today in Germany. You like that cage there for Barcelona? It protects the eyes of Everett Lindsay. A lot is expected of him. He started as a rookie for the Minnesota Vikings about 3 years ago. Tom Robsock started and played every snap, every game, every snap a year ago. Martin with the Steelers. Banks, of course, a Bronco. And Darren Thorpe, fittingly, is a giant. He stands 6'8". Pretty big.
And he needs to bend his legs a little bit more and get his hands up, or he's going to get beat around the corner again by Dunston Anderson.
Well, he's filling up the lower portion of your screen there, right? It was Anderson who led this team in sacks a year ago with a most important sack of Kidman to cause the fumble that led to the drive and the field goal. And there's Tyree Davis on the receiving end, close to the first down marker. Tyree's brother Willie Davis played for Galen Hall on the receiving end of Scott Mitchell tosses about 6 years ago, the Orlando Thunder. Peter Grosspat, the designated national starter from Germany. Stanley was the #1 pick in this year's World League draft. The right end, Tyrone Williams, Dunston Anderson, the sack man. Like those helmets, flame on either side.
Guy on the tight end, wasn't it? Guy on the tight end, or is he on you? He was in your outside shoulder.
First down on the ground. Darting to the near side. Terry Wilburn, former 49er. Spent a bit of time with the Vikings, too. And there's Aubrey Beavers. Aubrey Beavers started for Don Shula's Dolphins 2 seasons ago. Anthony Fielding, the top tackler here, a season pass to the middle. And David Merritt as well for 4 seasons, a Cardinal.
Strength of that defense, all 3 of them have NFL playing experience.
On second down, Kittner to the sideline.
I like this kid, Kittner. He does a pretty good job. Knows what he wants to do with the football, comes out, is decisive, and gets rid of it pretty quick.
Alfonso Browning on the receiving end. Lee Cole, still another Oiler. Houston has a number of players obviously playing in the World League. Matt Gay, the free safety, shelling out of Auburn, and Artis Houston, a former defensive captain at Cal Berkeley in his collegiate days. So Kittner on a tiny, simple Washington college. He can throw, can he?
This kid's pretty darn good. That's a nice throw.
Down to the 26-yard line. First down, biggest play of this football game.
And Paul, I'm going to tell you something else what he's doing right now is, first of all, he comes up to the line of scrimmage and sees something and changes it at the line of scrimmage. Secondly, what he does is he looks the safety off to be able to get to the outside, and then that ball is thrown perfectly to Shedrick Wilson.
Shedrick Wilson, he too an Oiler. And there is Stoney Case, who is the other allocated NFL quarterback who really wants to play. That's why he is here, not here to watch.
Well, he's watching right now, and I tell you, Kittner's going to keep playing like this. He's going to continue to watch.
There's another zip inside the 18, following the gain of 26.
Hey, Kittner's impressive. Kittner is a guy who doesn't exude a lot of confidence. I mean, when he comes into the room, he just kind of almost has kind of that country boy thing where he's just trying to find his way. When he steps onto the field, and he looks decisive. He's coming out, knows where he wants to go, sees it right away, and the ball's coming out quick.
Drive again at the 22. Burnett, the tight end on the receiving end, and Kittner checking, calling the play at the line of scrimmage, and looking end zone bound. He throws. He's got a touchdown. Touchdown, Shedrick Wilson. Kittner takes him right down the field for 6.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I don't care what level you're at, whether you're Division III, whether you're in the NFL, whether you're in the World League, you can't make that throw any better. That ball was thrown perfectly, and he knew what he wanted to do. Watch, the ball comes out, goes right away. Tries to make the safety stay to the middle, and then, boom, throws it right outside. Actually, that's a poor job by Lee Cole by not holding that outside. He tried to get the job and jumped inside, and then he was beaten to the top side.
The extra point to be attempted by Jesus Angoy, former Barcelona soccer style, or soccer kicker, a hero at FC Barcelona. He puts it through. So the European soccer stars have been outstanding. And Kittner for 7 to put his team in front, 7-3. In this early season pitch battle with Stoney Case, it's Dennis Erickson's understudy, his quarterback from Seattle, who's impressive in the first quarter.
Yeah, see how he comes out. He comes out, knows he's going to get the pressure, looks to the inside first, and then boom, goes right out. He knows he has Shedrick to the top side and throws the ball the only place. Now, here's the key to that ball. See, he throws it to the top side. If it's not caught, it's an incompletion. So you give him just one job. Wilson comes down with it and makes the catch because the throw was perfectly.
Shedrick Wilson in his first professional start. And a new father, too. His son Devin born just 3 weeks ago. Well, he marks his pro debut on the receiving end of that 17-yard score. Former LSU Bayou Bengal in Wilson.
And the other thing that was smart is, you have a 6'2" receiver. Lee Cole, not the tallest guy in the world at 5'11", and had bad position to the inside. So they throw it to the top side and take advantage of all those things.
So a field goal by Bert Mueller, and Bailey awaits the kickoff by Joe Wood. Joe Wood himself, after graduating from the Air Force Academy, has been with 4 NFL teams. Puts his left foot into it, trying to earn himself a spot in the National Football League, and he's here and up to the 30 to 35-yard line. Nice return by Bailey. He shattered some SEC marks. We mentioned that earlier. As a Tiger off the plains of Auburn. Roderick Green on the special teams tackle for Barcelona.
Almost looked like Thomas Bailey his legs didn't have enough field. He just kind of ran out of field right there.
We will have microphones on both coaches today, and we'll be listening in periodically. Galen Hall and Jack Bicknell joining our telecast today from Germany. Galen likes it here. He's third year in Germany, and they like him too. A popular figure. Fired to the far side and caught. 42-yard line, T.J. Rubley.
Hey, Bob!
And there is T.J. out of the University of Tulsa. Man who threw for close to 10,000 yards in his collegiate days. Here, Matt, is how one becomes a World League player. Obviously allocated from the National Football League, or a protected veteran, draft pick, free agent, or a national selection from a European country. They have about 9 nations represented in this stadium here today. From Japan to Spain, Finland. And, of course, the good old United States. Vincent Lander and the linebacker standing big in the hole. With just a minute and a half remaining. Our opening quarter today. Derek Clark, the third running back. Already on the
and also gives them some power to the inside. You have Anquan Carter, who has the speed and a little bit of movement, and then Clark will give you more of the pounding inside.
No gain on the play. We'll check that. First down again. This is a National Series 2. Which means the national players must be on the field. Look out in the backfield. Swarming. Oliver Barnett with the left arm. The 6-year National Football League veteran.
Juan Long, the middle linebacker right there also. I want you to watch just inside, in the middle of your screen, number 96. He's just going to come blowing right up inside. And he gets, I mean, he just in terms of movement, makes a man miss and disrupts the whole play.
Movement on the left side. Spencer Fallot. Property of the Baltimore Ravens appeared to jump. See the flags down. Our officials today, Matt, we have National Football League officials, we have international officials on this crew, and we also have some collegiate officials who are standouts, hoping to work their way to the league.
Snap. False start on the offense, number 79. 5 yards, still second down.
So the NFL not only uses this league for development of their players, but also their officials. And I think that's a good idea. They'll also have some of their officials from the NFL try at different positions, like a head linesman as a referee.
Rubley flush, running to the sideline and stepping out of bounds. He got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe picked up a yard or two. For Rubley, last year you had John Elway, of course, at the age of 37 playing in Denver. Jeff Lewis, Bill Musgrave now. They have also signed, as Mike Shanahan in Denver, Bubby Brista. Josh LaRocca, who is here as a backup, is also the property of Denver. I don't know that there's going to be a home there next year for TJ.
And he's not really concerned about that. Like he said earlier, he just wants to play. And now when you're going to get chased by Ivan Imbernon, you better get on your horse. And that's the one thing Rubley's always had, is mobility.
Well, it was caught, but out of bounds. He had touch on it. Schroeder thought he got both feet in. Unlike a year ago in this league, where a receiver needed but 1 foot inside the chalk, this year they revert back to the National Football League rule of 2 on the final play of the first quarter. Your score on opening day in Dusseldorf, 7-3 Barcelona.
Today's game is brought to you by Dockers Khakis. Hey, nice pants.
Our World League field of play is in Germany and the North Rhine-Westphalia region, raised by the 820-mile-long Rhine River. Dusseldorf, a city first settled in the 1300s, the capital of North Rhine-Westphalia, and today to the World League from historic Germany. And it's invading Barcelona, leading the flag down interference of the fair catch call. That'll give following the nice kick there by Kyle Richardson. That'll give Barcelona some additional room to work, backing away from its own goal line.
It's going to be interesting after this penalty to see the adjustments that are going to be made by the Rhine Fire defensively. Because Kidna had a field day the last time. He just went right down, taking advantage of that two-receiver side, going after Lee Cole on the outside with Shedrick Wilson.
Everything is done. Give him set.
Our referee, Mike Pereira, who works in the fall, assigned by Jerry Seaman in the National Football League. And the use of hands against, rather than being against Ryan, it's against Barcelona.
Now there you go, Paul. That is the epitome right there. See that? That is the epitome of marketing and capitalism.
Can you have endorsements on your face? We have found new ground in Europe.
Well, when you're Olaf Haffel and you're 300 pounds, you got enough face to be able to put an endorsement on.
6'6", 300. Oh, he saw what Kidna did on his opening possession. How does he work off his own goal line now on first down? Let's keep it on the ground and stretching out Michael Hicks, Chicago Bear. But the Ryan's all pumped up, and that includes Dunstan Anderson up front. So Kidna, the only way, well, here handing to Hicks, the Bear, the only way Kidna got to play, he believes, for Seattle is that Dennis Erickson's nephew also played for tiny Central Washington College, and so Erickson, once he got the Seattle job, used to come out and see him play and bumped into Kidna.
Yeah, and liked what he saw and brought him to camp and liked him even more.
What's not to like here?
Yeah, and if he's watching this right now, he's going to like him even more.
Well, Erickson is paying attention. He came to Atlanta where all the World League teams were training and spent some time.
Yeah, you see that on the back of his helmet? He has his Seattle Seahawk right on the, see that right in the back of his helmet there. Yeah, he's got that thing right there, just to let people know whose property he really is. Yeah, we talked about his decisiveness, going back and seeing and then making the throw. Now, when it's not there, he's also decisive in pulling it down and taking off and running. And if you notice this time, he was smart about it and tucked that ball away so it wouldn't get slapped away. Stoney Case, who's on the sideline watching, allocated by the Cardinals, who was supposed to have been the starter, had a little bit of shoulder problems, went back to the States, got there, they turned around, they said, get your rear end back over there. He shows up, didn't really do any of the scrimmages, didn't have much practice time, and that allowed Kidna to be able to get that time. And according to Jack Goodell, he was going to wait and see which quarterback played best. And if Kidna continues to do what he's doing here, Stoney Case may very well find himself back in the States at minicamp.
Play call from Jack, Cowboy Jack. Quarterback sneak, he said. Cowboy Jack telling me today he's brought a guitar that he picked up in Barcelona and put it in his office. In Spain, strums out a Spanish tune or two.
Yeah, so he could El Cabong his players. When you screw up, dank, El Cabong.
Little flamingo.
Number 62. 62 has reported as an eligible receiver. 62.
62 would be Tom Robsock. And there is a play in Barcelona's playbook to throw to Robsock, the guard now at tight end. Quarterback sneak was the call from the bench. Is that what we see here? First down. John Kidna on the practice squad for Seattle. They've added Warren Moon in the Great Northwest. So you have John Freeze, Warren Moon, and this guy in Kidna. Rick Meyer headed to Chicago.
Kidna, what he lacks is what this league can give him, and that's just playing time and experience. He's also going against more diverse defenses, so he'll have different looks. But if this is any kind of a test right now, he's passing it with flying colors.
Hicks the Bear in the backfield. Kidna throws underneath. There's Shedrick. Shaken up to the 25-yard line. Chris Schelling steps up to make the stop. We're in the second quarter. And Kidna with the lone touchdown pass of this football game on opening day. Along with Matt Millen, I am Paul Kennedy. Good to have you with us today, or wherever you join us around the world, here in Europe.
Now, they're going to run crossing patterns. The key to crossing patterns is you have to have time and protection. And if you do get somebody up in your face right away and you're the quarterback, you can buy your extra time just by fading a little bit like Kitna did there.
Running room, just shredding up the middle, Michael Hicks. Dave Wanstead said, Michael, you need to come to Germany and play here. And Hicks the Bear, he was the next to last man taken in the 96 NFL draft. Only Samuel Manuel by the 49ers was selected after Michael Hicks, and he made the ball club.
Well, I like Michael Hicks. He played hard on special teams for the Bears last year, had his chance to run the football. Again, he needs more experience and time, and that's why Wanstead sent him over here.
The release to the safety valve to the near side, and Aubrey Beavers just works over Hicks after the catch.
When you talk about their defense for the Rhine Fire, you have to look at the strength of that, and that's their linebacking core. Aubrey Beavers had playing experience. He started for the Miami Dolphins. Fielding was down with the Dallas organization, and Merritt with the Cardinals. So that gives them their leadership. It also gives them their experience. And those are the guys who are going to have to make the plays.
Merritt, a former All-ACC selection at NC State, was the special teams captain at one time for the Cardinals. Throwing vertical again, and it's another catch. A big play inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line for Ketna, Barcelona, and Tyree Davis.
But that was a nice adjustment by Davis at the end, because that ball was not thrown particularly well. It was thrown a little bit behind. But watch the adjustment at the end. Right here, he comes back to the ball, to the inside, and that's the difference in the play. Had that ball been thrown to the top side where it had been intended, it also would have been a completion because Tyree Davis had the position, but he came back underneath. Boy, this kid's pretty darn good.
Well, he keeps moving the chain.
Yes, he does. I like him.
Well, that was cut. Shedrick Wilson frustrated. If he had kept his feet, he might be in the end zone a second time.
I mean, now you're looking at he's not getting much pressure in his face. I mean, one of two things. Either his offensive line is pass blocking well, or the defensive line is not getting a rush. Regardless of that, you still have to go out there and make the throws. And Kitna's been hitting things right after another. I mean, he's on top of it.
Yeah, 49 yards, Matt, in the last two plays. 39 yards to Davis, and now a Rip City right up the middle, another touchdown. Michael Hicks into the end zone, and Barcelona builds its lead to 10.
Michael Hicks with the run inside, but here's the key to this play. It was John Kitna. Kitna saw something, audible at the line of scrimmage and changed it, and that adjustment, as he saw something, just came blowing right back up inside. Nice block at the top there by Darren Thorpe, and then Hicks just hits the other gear right here and turns it into the end zone.
Now you got to give Thorpe some credit, Matt. You were on him earlier. He got down, got the leverage this time.
He got
a big guy.
Yeah, that's right. Bent those hips.
Angoy wears number 14 in honor of his father-in-law, the immortal Johan Cruyff. You are a soccer fan. That name is about as big as they come. He's 2 for 2 in the extra point department. 14-3, Barcelona. Unanswered touchdown by Barcelona, quarterbacked by John Ketna, setting the Rhine on fire.
So
to speak, if you would, after the early field goal by Manfred Wirtzmuller. Here is the captain, Joe Wood, to put his foot into it once again. Thomas Bailey has been a busy man today. A short boot from the 15 out to the 20, headed to the sidelines and pushed that way.
Hey, you spoke about Darren Thorpe and making the block, and his was the key block. The other guy who had a nice job was Robert Crouch. Watch Thorpe come down right here. He's going to take this out, and then Crouch is going to come around. And the biggest thing you have to remember is Mark Brook comes up and really has nice contact, but doesn't make the play. Couch just does enough right there, see that, to be able to get him to get out of the way, and then Hicks blows it right up inside. You see the nice blocking there, but remember, the adjustment was made by the quarterback, Kitna, who saw that.
T.J. Rubley to work, and he'll flip it out of the backfield, and upended is Twan Carter. A collision at the 25. Butler Banote came on to knock him down. As you see the touchdown by Hicks for Barcelona, their second. Benote appears to be shaken up.
Butler Benote, former running back at Ohio State.
Yep.
And then they switched him to safety when he was with the Denver Broncos. Now they have him out on the corner.
He was quite a running back for the Buckeyes. 1,500 yards in his career in Columbus. And goodbye Columbus and hello National Football League. And it's tough living on the outside when you have to come up and take on those running backs. He's all right.
Well, most corners don't like to get involved in tackles. They like to cover.
Covering the World League, the Rhine and Burgundy. And Barcelona's Dragons, named in honor of St. George, who slayed the dragon. Catalan mythical lore. Loss on the play following Benote's hit of a yard. He had to check out of the game, and this is incomplete as well. Throwing underneath to the far side, hunting David Rose out of Central Florida. So quickly, we're looking at third down.
You know, it's funny, I was talking to T.J. Rubley prior to the game, and he said, look, I hope we don't get in third and long. He said, in fact, 3rd and 12 is what he said, which is 3rd and 11 here. He said, we only have 2 plays in for any kind of 3rd and long, and that's not good for us.
The 5 receiver set. He backs off to operate out of the gun. Right about 3rd and 12, close to it, huh? And here they come. Whistles blow, and he throws it into the sideline. You know, in this league, Matt, a defense can only bring 6 players.
And 3 from one side, and that's the key. They've done that for a couple of reasons. If you blitz, you can bring a total of 6, but you can't bring more than 3 to one side, and it's delineated right down the middle from the center over.
Kyle Richardson out of Arkansas State. This is his first pro contract, the former All-Big West selection.
Didn't that seem like there was a quick whistle there?
Yeah, I think it came out of the stands here today. And now that one came from the field.
Timeout. Timeout, Rhine. Their first charge timeout.
So Mike Piera will halt things with 8 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the first half. And the Rhine set to give it back to Barcelona, which leads 14-3. John Ketna has fired a 17-yard touchdown strike to Cedric Wilson.
30-second timeout. 30-second timeout.
And then driven the Dragons the length of the field before Michael Hicks rambled into the end zone from 16 yards away.
You know, Paul, we talked about the Rhine team with having their experience. Galen Hall saying it was going to be the quarterback and being able to throw the ball outside. But what happened is if they fall behind like we are now.
No, they weren't.
And they're throwing the football all the time.
Yep.
And they don't really have any kind of a running game. Now they're going to become a one-dimensional team, and you can't win like that. Barcelona will just load up on them, just trying to take away the pass, and then this thing could get ugly.
Galen Hall's team just 3-7 a year ago. Rhine has never had a winning season here. They're hoping this year becomes their first. Barcelona has never fielded a losing campaign. Nice punt. Tough time with the handle, though. And down he goes. That was Tyree Davis on the receiving end. Cowboy Jack Bicknell. Experiencing success in Barcelona and off to a great start now on opening night.
What a great talk we had with Jack Bicknell yesterday and asked him about coaching over here.
Diego Martos in the delegation from Barcelona, leading 14-3 here at Rhine Stadion. As John Ketna so far, Matt Millen has been the star of this party.
You can take a look right there. 10 straight passes. The World League record is 16, so we'll keep our eyes on the next 7 passes. But forget the record. I'm impressed with this kid.
Fresh set of downs, and the big first half lead. Settles in, steps up. There he goes. 45-yard line. A yard shy of the first down. Everybody goes vertical, and they're covered. He'll take off.
But when he has that kind of time, there has to be a reason. And you're going to take yourself right here. Watch Everett Lindsay, number 64, right here. He's a Minnesota Viking. He started for a long time. He's over here, and his reason is simple. He's not been able to stay healthy. But you can see he's healthy now, and it's easy to see when he's healthy, he's as good as this league has offered. He's a pretty darn good football player himself for the National Football League. He's a starter.
Second and short. Airborne Kitna, and that's a first down inside the 40. That is a completed pass to the 33-yard line. Kitna cannot miss, can he? Alfonso Browning, property of the Washington Redskins, his target this time.
And that ball comes out of there in a hurry. Hey, again, look, he's looking at the safety, trying to get him out of there, and then he goes to the outside. And the ball's thrown very well. Again, going at Lee Cole.
The ball was caught and fumbled forward, out of bounds, returned to the spot of the fumble, first down.
Stoney Case looking on.
With a stony look on his face.
Saying, Steve, come on already, have an incompletion.
And what more can Kitna do? There is another throw. Bryce Burnett, the tight end. That'll count for 3. Burnett, the top target, a season pass tied for the team lead. He had 45 receptions last year. Mano Suaves, they call him. The Jack, soft hands. Yeah, I've been reading too much. I'll back up. Only decaf from this point forward.
Smoke.
Kitna inside the 35. Hicks with a touchdown one.
That's a nice little move to the line of scrimmage. Hicks made a miss.
Aubrey Beavers on the hit.
Yeah, and your offense is running like this. And you're Jack McNeil. You can call anything you want. Let's listen in on him. And Jack McNeil will talk into his handheld microphone, and that will go into Kitna's helmet receiver.
Kitna with that clock working in his favor as well. And there's an incomplete pass. Stop the presses. Get a picture of that one. Skips it up incomplete.
Beaver left 6. Tyree converted it, and Bryce too. Beaver left 6.
All right, Matt.
The old Beaver left 6.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what I would call right here.
Yep.
Now he's
left
talking
6
about
works.
Tyree Davis clearing it, which means something else would come open behind it. Hicks.
Anderson, Tyrone Williams, and in this case, Herb Coleman, 49ers, on his back. So Hicks has had a fine first half, too.
Michael Hicks, and he wore number 44 for the Chicago Bears last year. They had a bunch of guys get banged up and hurt. Hicks was pressed into service and played pretty well. He didn't play great, but he was also in on every special teams thing. And like I said earlier, Dave Wanstead said he needs to get over here just for the experience, and he's taking advantage of it.
Kitna taking advantage of his playing time. He's got Browning, and Browning falls forward for the first down. Kitna appreciates that second effort.
He also appreciates the time he's getting from his offensive line. Again, crossing routes take time. Your offensive line has to give you that time when you have a guy like Everett Lindsay up there who's pass protecting as well as that rest of that offensive line. That guy can come all the way across the field. Kitna can hit him and pick up that first. 13 completions for Kitna in his World League debut in the first half. Hicks tried to find a seam. Nothing but burgundy, and that included the Tennessee Volunteer James Wilson. Wilson, number 74, defensive tackle sitting inside. Dunstan Anderson also up there in that front.
And you had said it earlier, this league is all about players like him. Getting experience in team uniforms. Today, Natalie attired.
I will say this, though, that Ryan, those numbers are hard to see.
That's why I got all these cameras pointing at them.
Okay.
That'll help. Off his back foot, but throw it. What a catch! Touchdown, Alfonso Browning. What a sensational grab. Kitna's second TD strike.
And a perfectly thrown ball. That ball was thrown the only place it could be thrown. At the back of the end zone, the right trajectory, the ball came down perfectly. That's as good as it gets at any level. McNeil has got to like what he's seeing here.
Off his back foot.
You ran, it was into a twist, wasn't it? Oh, the last one, yeah.
You hear McNeil, he's saying it was into a twist. That means they were running a twist stunt to that side. But it didn't make a bit of difference the way Kidner's throwing here. They can run twists and spikes and you name it, and he'll take care of it.
Angoy, a third time. A former goalkeeper. And now a goal scorer, if you will, without a net. 3 for 3. Your score, 21-3. Alfonso Browning acrobatically over the shoulder, sliding both feet inbound.
Now watch the protection. Here comes the blitz. He watches it the whole way. Watch, the ball is perfectly thrown. Watch where it comes. Comes up here to the top side, but it also comes down with the right trajectory. And Browning makes a great catch. Watch the concentration. 2 feet have to be in. Fingertip grab. He's in.
In front of Matt Gay, the free safety, Alfonso Browning, who made some huge plays last year. Just one of 2 World League receivers with 3 touchdowns of 50 yards or better, and Kitna loves this catch. All right, John Kitna is...
World Bowl bound right here. World Bowl bound.
Oh, on opening day we're World Bowl bound, are we?
Well, we got 9 games left to prove it.
The first half of the season, the first 5 games, determines who will host the World Bowl. Team with the best record gets to host the championship game, which comes in week 11. The second 5 weeks determines which will be the visiting team. So you have incentive throughout the year for which to play.
I'm impressed with Kitten, and I've said that the whole first half. But I mean, he doesn't slow down at all. It looks like he's getting confidence with every completion, and it looks like he's in control out there, and that's the thing I like the most.
Bailey, 25-yard line, up to the 30, 35, nice return to the 39-yard line. Maybe that's the spark to light a fire.
Well, they're going to need something right now, because at this point, when you're down 21-3, you've got to be able to score points so you don't come in at halftime and become one-dimensional.
And that's what we were talking about, Matt. After week 5, you get to host it if you're on top. And then if you do happen to sweep both halves of this season, well, the second best overall record will send that particular team into the championship game. Last year, of course, it was Scotland prevailing. And the Claymores today christening Amsterdam's new arena. Fabulous stadium with a retractable roof. In the Netherlands, out near midfield, the best field position the Rhine has had forever. Alfonso Browning.
Second down.
3 touchdown receptions last year, Matt, will reiterate, are better than 50 yards. So he's got some speed and some ability there. And they jump. No flags down. Drew Hunter at the bottom of that stack for Barcelona, and they're pulling him apart.
Well, you look at their defense, and that's really their strength. You spoke at the top of the game saying that the strength of this team was going to be their defensive line. Carl Reed, number 90 right there, Leroy Glover, 99, and Hugh Hunter, who makes this play right, would be the strength. But, I mean, so far, they haven't really had to rely on their defense. Their offense has done more than was expected.
Bob Cronenberg went down early. Mike Sheldon having to play center this entire first half. You wonder if that would have had a tremendous impact on the events here in the first half.
Well, I guarantee that it has something to do with it, only because of this. There's not much depth.
Eric Clemens back at our FX studios in New York. And for those of you who missed our earlier game today, the Scottish Claymores, defending World Bowl champions, defeat Amsterdam 16-3, your final, as Dave Barr passes for 206 yards on 23 of 31. Paul and Matt will be back with the rest of the first half after we take a quick commercial break. Stay with us.
Sean Foster, David Rhodes for the top of your picture. Quarterback sneak to drive the football into Barcelona territory with 2:45. Now, counting. Keep it going. The Rhine with less than 90 yards of total offense in the first half. It's about a third of the figure John Kitna has been able to put together for Barcelona. Out of the gun, 4 receivers to the far side. 4-man rush. Rubley. Tipped incomplete.
Nice throw.
Tritland took his eyes off of it. Right on his hands.
Ball was thrown right. Nice that he went with 5 receivers, 4 to one side. Barcelona counter with just a straight zone, so you don't have enough people to stand. You can see total yards right there, under 90.
We'll see what adjustments they make at halftime. Final 2 quarters here. Close to 2 minutes to go in our first half. 2-minute warning coming after this play. Perhaps underthrown. Incomplete again. Schroeder thought he had made the catch. I don't believe he had it.
Well, Rubley didn't have enough on that ball. Schroeder had to adjust a little bit more than he thought.
Timeout. That's the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning.
Studios. Coming up on the Doctor's Halftime Report, we'll recap this afternoon's early game between Scotland and Amsterdam, and the defending World Bowl champions looked awfully solid with a 16-3 victory. Quarterback Dave Barr, allocated from the 49ers, 23 of 31, 206 yards. Ron Dickerson, 91-plus yards rushing. Scotland again looking strong, winning it 16-3. We'll also have news and notes from around the National Football League, and even find out why the NFL coaches are more and more using the World League for development of their own players. All right, here from the New York studios, World League Weekend #1, and we'll be keeping you up to date on all the news and notes from around the World League and the National Football League as well. Right now, we're all set to go back out to Dusseldorf, Germany for the rest of the first half of our ball game. Right now, John Kitna, the Seattle allocated quarterback, putting on a show. 2 touchdown passes, his Barcelona Dragons leading it 21-6. Paul and Matt just about ready to stand by for the rest of the first half. We'll see you at halftime. Eric Clemens back in New York. Obviously, we're experiencing some technical difficulties with our audio portion of the telecast. You cannot hear Paul and Matt right now, but we'll go back out to Dusseldorf, Germany for the final seconds of the first half. Come back and join us at halftime, and we'll get those things straightened out. Right now, the rest of the first half without audio from Germany.
Timeout, Barcelona. That's their first timeout. That's a 30-second timeout. 30-second timeout.
We get a first. That's the first down.
Timeout, Grimes. That's their third charge timeout. It's a 30-second timeout.
We don't need the drag.
Okay.
Okay, out of bounds or goes to touchdown. Okay, you got Bill on.
first half, the end of the first half.
Before we go back out to Dusseldorf, just want to remind you that we are still experiencing technical difficulties with the audio portion of the program from the Rhein-Fire Barcelona game. Got an idea, though? You can practice your own play-by-play skills until we get Paul Kennedy and Matt Millen back. Meanwhile, enjoy the pictures from Dusseldorf.
Beaver right 7. Beaver right 7. Beaver right 7. Zoom to Cub left, 5. Zoom to Cub left, 5.
Number 62 reports as an eligible receiver. 62 eligible receiver. Ineligible member of the kicking team downfield prior to the kick. Penalty is declined. First down. Number 29 was the fouling player, number 29.
Hey, great news from here at Airfix Studios in New York. We have restored audio, so now let's return you to Dusseldorf and hear Paul Kennedy and Matt Millen for the rest of the game.
National caliber, the captain.
Yeah, and you can see the athletic ability here. Again, just come across the motion. They're just going to run a pick with the two inside receivers and clear Schroeder. All he has to do is, now watch that, nice job of coming back to the ball and adjusting his body and then using the speed. Between he and Dritline, they're saying they may be the two fastest guys in this league.
Biggest play of this game, the gain of 21 for Ryan. Can Powers turn the corner? He's got a greeting committee just outside the 30-yard line.
There's Carl Reeves. Looks like he's going to be fine. We saw him before the game, asked him how he was doing. He said, I'll be fine if I get myself some sacks. That's what I'm here for. Which leads me to another point to be made. So many things have been talked about in the NFL about developing young quarterbacks, but when I go around the league and watch, I see they haven't really developed any real young pass rushers, and that's got to be a concern as well.
Second down. After the pickup of a couple by Ricky, who's now out in the pattern, makes this catch. Makes one miss. Sidelines 20. Boom at the 10-yard line. First down, Ryan.
That was all Ricky Powers. He made a miss, that tackle. They had themselves a one-on-one situation out in the flat. It's one of the toughest things to do. And then when you get out there, you have to make this play. let's say it was Juan Long who just missed that tackle. He's got to run through that thing. Powers takes advantage, just runs right down the sideline, picks up the first down.
DePola and Carlos Brooks finally bring down the powerful former Wolverine. Driving toward what would be their first touchdown of the season, but a power outage. Oliver Barnett battling to play his way back into the NFL as he turns 31 this week. Made the stop to tackle.
Barnett was there. Juan Long was there. Leroy Glover was there. Nice job of Glover holding the point, and then Long comes through and lowers the boom on him.
Second down. From the 11 now. And TJ says, let's talk about it. Their deepest penetration of this football game, trailing 21-6. They'll burn their first of 3 here early in the second half. Ken Karcher, who is upstairs in the first half, now the offensive coordinator on the sideline with Galen. The Rhine trails, but its longest extended drive of this game. Has them facing second and goal now at the Barcelona 11. Trying to get back into this contest. P.J. Rubley, the drop, throws, and it is caught at the 6-yard line by Bailey, and he is hauled down by Long, who had him by the jersey.
That's a nice play by Juan Long because they cleared everything out. I'm going to tell you what happened here in the interim. See the man on the microphone right there? That's Ken Karcher, the offensive coordinator. The first half, he was upstairs relaying down
Almost if he popped up.
to Galen Hall what to call. And I think what happened is he was losing something in the translation, so he said, forget this, I'm going down on the field. Then I can talk to my quarterback and make the adjustment.
Started for the Denver Broncos, he did. It's third and goal now. What did Karcher call? Rubley zips to the 5. It'll be 4th down. That's Sean Foster on a Long Beach State with the penalty marker down. Who hauled it in?
That's going to be an automatic first. It's roughing the passer. That's going to be a first down.
Mike Fiera to sort things out. Made the long trip in from California. Here to Germany. Ryan Ballier is refereeing, umpire rather. Yeah.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 90 on the defense. That'll be tacked on half the distance to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That was Carl Reeves, who had beaten the tackle. The ball had been thrown, and then he whacked him, and they threw the flag on him. That'll give him a first and goal from the 2-yard line.
So Reeves shaken up, back into the game, commits the mistake. And the Rhine now, 3 yards away from their first touchdown of 1997. Rubley in his first game with this World League franchise, having played with the Rams and the Packers and the Broncos, goes into the end zone, and it's tipped away, incomplete. Nice defensive play, Balabanote.
A little bit too long on that pass. P.J. Rubley had him right away. Schroeder goes to the back of the end zone. Look, right there, the ball has to be thrown, but he waits a little bit too long, and that allows Benote to be able to recover, and the play is incomplete. As soon as he clears, that ball has to come now.
With a bit more velocity than it had there. Second and goal, trips as you see the top of your screen. In the backfield and dropped Derek Clark at the 5. Leroy Glover steps up for the big play by Barcelona's front wall.
How about a drive?
Glover makes himself a nice quick move inside. You watch him, just goes inside, takes an inside nice move, and boom, he's right there on top of him. Naposki is also there to help him, but it's the quickness of Leroy Glover in that first step that makes the difference in the play.
Take out your pen and underline big on this play. Third and goal at the 6. Barcelona has kept them out for a long time now inside the 10. That skips up incomplete. Pressure forcing Rubley to throw early. It was Benote coming.
Benote came off the corner. That's a nice call by their defense. Force it to happen right away.
That is 7 plays, Matt, that Barcelona stops Ryan.
Naposki comes clean to the left side, but Benote gives the pressure and gets right in his face and forces the poor pass, which would set up this field goal.
So the first score of this game came off the toe of Manfred Bergsmuller, the 4th all-time leading scorer in the history of the Premier League of Germany. And yes, he does know how to put points on the board. At the age of 47, George Blanda type age. His second field goal, the 3rd three-pointer of the night for the homestanding Fire, which trailed 21-9. The Rhine booting its 3rd separate field goal of this football game, and you might say, yes, they have the horses here this evening.
Then again, you may not. You would choose to. There has been all of their kick in that horse tonight.
Manfred Bergsmuller.
Manfred Bergsmuller, 47 years old. I think George Blanda quit when he was 49. 47, he was still beating the Chiefs and come from behind wins.
Dun, 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 dun. Tyree Davis scoots back to the center of the field where there's all those burgundy jerseys. Hello. Back to the 15 he goes. Hey, tomorrow, World League action. The London Monarchs and the Frankfurt Galaxy. Galaxy, of course, advancing to the World Bowl championship game against Scotland a year ago. The Monarchs, led by quarterback Stan White, he of the New York Football Giants. Ernie Stotner, the head coach at Frankfurt. Living legend out of the National Football League, the defensive coordinator for so many years with the Pokes.
And Steve Pallor, former Dallas Cowboys, the quarterback for the Frankfurt Galaxy.
Chad May is also in the mix there.
Right.
Chuck the Rock. All that tomorrow. Hope you're with us. Here's John Kudna, who has been right with it tonight. Good coverage all the way downfield. 40-yard line. He hung that up a long, long way.
McNell said, look, I know he came out in our first series and we were conservative. Well, we're going to dust that thing off right away.
Artis Houston covering.
Let's let Kitney get the ball back up the field. They got to get back to the rhythm that they had in the first half. Stoney Case right there.
You do the math. That polished up a lot better after the Rhine extended that early drive here in the 3rd quarter. It was disappointing for the Fire, to say the least, at halftime. Kitna right over the middle, and that is broken up and ruled incomplete.
That's the second drop ball
by Browning. He has a touchdown reception though tonight, man. Would you anticipate Case getting in there soon?
I would think you just stay with Kitna. Kitna's played very, very well. He's looking the ball down the field. He sees his crossing receiver. The ball is thrown perfectly. It's not like he's doing anything wrong. And then Merritt come up and make the whack and forces the incompletion and a 3rd down. Now, this is a good situation for Kitna to be in. You have to try to get something. He's had everything go his way to this point. See if he can come up with a play.
On 3rd down, inside his own 10. Now will take off. He was effective at this and obviously continues to be so in the second half, sliding upfield at the 40-yard line. A 25-yard romp by John Kitna. Suddenly a triple threat.
Yeah, I'm just watching Pete Kaharchik, their defensive coordinator, in the booth right aside of us. And if he didn't break his hand on the table, that one, there's a dent in the table. Hey, we talked about this earlier. This is something that you don't allow for, or you don't really set things up for an account for your quarterback taking off and running. You just have to rally to him. Kitna took care of him.
Wilson went in motion. Kitna continues to throw. Splits it there. That is wrong.
There's no whistle.
Not now. There was finally the whistle. That took a while, didn't it? Bryce Burnett, right between 2 defenders, Anthony Fieldings and John Anderson. Out of the secondary, a flag down.
Well, you can talk about this. I'm going to tell you something. There was some mustard on that baby. That ball was thrown hard right between 2 defenders, the only place it could be thrown.
In a game for opening night that has been relatively penalty-free, we have a flag now. Back Sierra.
Defensive pass interference, number 51 of the defense. That penalty is declined. The play is accepted. First down.
David Merritt is the most experienced defender on the field for Rhine. He's number 51. He's played 42 games in the National Football League.
With all that experience, it wasn't going to make a difference. I want you to watch this throw from Kitten. First, he buys some time. You're going to watch. He's just going to fade a little bit as we're looking at it to the right side of the screen, just to buy a little bit of time. And then he sees what he wants, and the ball just, watch this throw. Boom. The only place it could be, right between two defenders. That's really well thrown.
On the draw. Inside the 45 down to the 42-yard line. First draw of this game. And it's Wilburn toting the football across midfield and into Rhine territory.
Paul, we talked about having to get back to that feel that they had in the first half. They can get a little consistency, and they needed Kitten to get right back up where he had been after that conservative first series of the third quarter, and boy, he just responded again.
Jack Bicknell in his 36th year as a head man. He's really found a second career, hasn't he? After sterling years collegiately here, this is a good fit for Jack, the World League.
You know, it's interesting because we had a great frank talk with him yesterday and asked him about coaching in the NCAA back in the States again. He said, look, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be 60. I'm considered too old to take over a program. And I don't really know that many people in the National Football League. And again, at 60, I'm too old. So I'm coming over here because I like to coach.
He says it's not about me getting to the National Football League. It's about helping these players get there. And he can say that with some honesty and integrity. It's the truth.
Well, that's the thing that impresses me about Bicknell. I mean, he pulls no punches. I mean, he just gets right to the point, and it's all bottom line truth. A lot of times you get around coaches and they become a little bit like car salesmen. But Bicknell, believe me, he'd be broke if he had to sell cars. You know, you walk up to this one has a bad tranny, forget it.
His team leads 21-9. The comments of Matt Millen. I'm Paul Kennedy, and spinning away is Kettner. The escape artist wide open. He'll have his third touchdown of the game. The hat trick. Shedrick Wilson all alone after Kettner escaped the hangman's noose.
Nice call by the defense. Blitzer came clean. Kitten is the difference, shakes it off, finds the coverage down the field. It's over. I mean, that was just all Kitten again.
His 16th completion of this game into the waiting arms of Shedrick Wilson.
I think Jack McNeil's going to say, hey, this kid's pretty darn good, because remember, he told us yesterday he didn't know what he had.
And if Stoney Case isn't injured, at least Stoney's eyes and the opinion of some, he might be the starter, not Kittner tonight. Kittner's had a huge game.
I think Stoney may be packing them bags, buddy.
Angoy, 4 for 4 and a late flag. That's against Barcelona, so you can erase the PAT. How about Shedrick Wilson in his first professional starting assignment off the campus of LSU? Yeah, the buttons are popping right off that chest.
Said you got to eat when you got to eat. He sounds like me. I'm hungry, too.
There are some restaurants in Dusseldorf here. Good football, exceptional front work. That's the storyline.
Failed to report and lined up in eligible position. 5 yards, will re-kick.
Jesus Angoy. Great goaltender for FC Barcelona. One of the fabulous soccer clubs, tradition-rich in Europe. A goalkeeper there. He says once you have faced the pressure of playing in front of 120,000 Spaniards, well, kicking in this league, he thinks he can handle it. Well, that one hit the post. So he's 3 for 4. But still, it's been a solid debut for him and his team firmly in command. Barcelona on the road in Dusseldorf. Barcelona firmly in command here in the third quarter.
One thing I noticed,
Yes,
the Macarena is the same all over the world.
pretty brave to be playing that here in Galen Hall's home stadium. The Spaniards in town.
Well, they're slapping them around right now, so it don't make much of a difference.
Frustrating night so far for Galen, the second winningest coach in World League history. The all-time leader is on the other sideline, though, and Jack McNeil. Here comes Bayless. He dips at the 15. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 white jerseys on top of it. Here is Kettner escaping the blitz by Gay and finding Alfonso Browning all alone.
That was the perfect call. I mean, the safety came clean. Nobody was there. And then you just run away from your coverage. There's nobody around him. Cedric Wilson's in for 6.
A 40-yard touchdown play. The third touchdown pass of the night. And you see that I would believe Kettner might be the favorite to win the World League Player of the Week. You think so?
He would get my vote.
Rublin backpedals, 4-man rush, and throws strongly, and that is caught by Schroeder. Upfield at the 39-yard line.
I think Schroeder's turning himself in a pretty darn good game here tonight as well.
Juan Long, a linebacker, was back in the vicinity, too, at the pickup of 17.
And they're running those zones, and he's just finding a spot. Rubley knows where he wants to go. Long is trying to shadow him to the inside, knowing he is outside help. Schroeder just sits down. I'll tell you, he has great speed, and he has a nice big body.
Off the left side, delayed for a moment, and now Wilburn darts. Nice move at the line of scrimmage there, Matt, to buy some time. And Kettner has been the star this evening. The barber of Barcelona.
Yeah, that is the first quarterback I've ever seen who has a wrestler's haircut. And as soon as he walked in, he had that baseball hat pulled down. I said, nice haircut. Take that thing off. He took it off. I said, nice haircut. He said, yeah, I gave it to me. I gave it to myself.
The NAIA All-American. Over it again. A hole in the 40, the 35. Inside the 30, he rumbles to the 26-yard line.
Derek Clark, who's not supposed to be a fast guy, didn't really have to use so much speed because the right side of that offensive line just blew right through it. And once you get to that second level, Clark just runs right by everybody. A nice job of the wide receivers getting down the field. Grid line was there, getting away and create more of a seam to get even more yardage.
Clark on the carry out of tiny Evangel College. Top ground gainer a season ago.
I don't like this. That's the second
Twice
time
that's happened.
you've had to use that timeout.
Right.
You can't do it.
That's their second charge timeout.
You see his numbers.
Last year, at the beginning of the season, he was tearing his place up.
94, signed with Denver. He took the 95 campaign off, did not play, and this is his second go-around in Dusseldorf. There are some rules variations as this league compares to the National Football League. Matt, we've discussed the first one. We're waiting our first 4-point field goal. Defense can score what they call a deuce on all extra point attempts. They return a 35-second play clock in force throughout this contest, and you need both feet down, much like the National Football League. That's different from a year ago when the rules favored the collegiate style, 1 foot in counted.
Well, I remember last year in the championship game in the World Bowl, Yo Murphy made some catches, and it didn't matter if he had any feet in bounds. They were just some phenomenal catches.
Zach McNeil has seen some phenomenal play out of Kitness tonight. That's P.J. Rubley. Trying to get Barcelona smart. He throws underneath the Bailey, who dives toward the 20-yard line. That's 3 yards shy of the first. A pickup. Call it a gain of a long 6. As you see, we have less than a minute remaining in the third tonight in Dusseldorf, Germany. Mike Sheldon has had to play center from the very outset of this game. Cronenberg injured. Parker on the left side earns that first. Carlos Brooks, the free safety, was on his back at the end. And here comes Schroeder back onto the field.
I don't believe I'd take Schroeder off the field pretty much. I think I'd get the ball to him as much as I can. Last time they were down here in this red zone area, they had 2 opportunities to score. Both times, Rubley did not throw the ball well. Threw one short on a streak, and then to the back of the end zone to Schroeder. He just waited a little bit too long.
Trent line, Rhodes, Schroeder, the 3 wide receivers. Into the corner he goes. Did he get his feet down? No.
Now, one thing you have to remember, even if he didn't get his feet down, if that defender pushes him as he's coming down, that would be considered a catch. But in the judgment of the official, neither of those things happened.
How close was he? He stretched as far as he could. Take another look.
From down, guys in. That's a good call by the official.
That's the end of the third
Did not
quarter.
get one
end
down.
Of the third quarter.
And on that note, the third quarter has come to a close. 3/4 of the way through opening night. An historic Rhine Stadion.
And the score.
And Galen Hall's club now trailing 27-9. Must pull it out of the fire in the fourth. Opening night beneath the lights. Barcelona spoiling the Rhine's party. Big pile-up. Loss of the play. Back outside the 15-yard line. Hugh Hunter, Oliver Barnett dropping Derek Clark.
You know, as an observation of it, I have a feeling that Galen Hall doesn't quite know what he has in his offense yet because it seems a little disjointed to me.
Well, that defensive front, too, for Barcelona that you talked about at the outset of our telecast tonight has dominated the line of scrimmage. Well, they had the center that got hurt, Cronenberg.
They still have their opportunities. It just seems like they've kind of been a little bit out of sync.
Rubley throws. That is caught. Foster inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line.
That's a first down play. That doesn't make sense to me.
You're saying that's not a 3rd and 12.
In fact, it's 7 yards to do for you on 3rd and 12. You're 5 yards short. You're going to get another field goal. Who cares?
It would be your 4th. Bergsmuller. Manning. They said a year ago kicked only 1 field goal, that of 22. He's held it at 28 and 21 already. This would be of 26. Out of the hole, the punter Kyle Richardson, who gets it down. He hit a knuckleball, but it's through there. Done it again. So as irony would have it, here in a soccer stadium in Dusseldorf, it's the soccer star Bergsmuller with the majority of the offense for the right. Guten Abend from Manfred Bergsmuller with another field goal. 27-12. The Rhine's points have come off the toe of that soccer immortal.
Der gut, Herr Kennedy. Wie geht es Ihnen?
3 days in Dusseldorf. I popped out.
Just say Danke gut Ihnen. That's my 7th grade German right there.
Adley Larson. Holding it away. Here comes Barcelona once again. On the return, Terry Wilburn, the running back. Michael Swift, swiftly downfield on special teams.
You know, they told us before the game that every time that the Rhine would score a touchdown, the horse would run around. Well, we've seen the horse. They said, forget it, we paid for it, we ain't scoring touchdowns. That's the way it goes.
This region, as you look at our game summary, renowned for its equestrian sport. Aachen nearby, the Westphalian breed. I told you it was chilly. Even the natives are bundling up. Here's Kittner, who loves this weather. Kind of has a Seattle feel to it. He scrambles for a couple. His records there, although it was the NAIA level, 42 touchdowns, more than 4,600 yards, and 17 times in his collegiate career he passed for more than 300 yards and wasn't drafted.
And as Kittner's doing all those things, you see the sideline with Stoney Case. Case came over here to play. He told yesterday, look, I didn't come here to sit. I came to get some experience, and I'll tell you, the way Kittner's going, oh boy.
Broken up, nearly picked off by Anthony Fielding. He throws down the middle.
As Kittner is playing as well as he is, I would think that McDell would just say, look, he's going to be our guy, and if you're Stoney Case, you came here to play, you're not going to get any playing. I would think you'd go back and get into your offense with the Arizona Cardinals again.
And Kent Graham is there now, and of course, Boomer is moving back to Cincinnati. They have signed Chad May in the desert. Stoney Case, only Ty Detmer threw more touchdown passes collegiately in his career than Stoney out of the University of New Mexico. Obviously, a wealth of talent here. Kittner feels the heat. Down he goes! And a flag thrown, perhaps a face mask. Dunston Anderson makes the sack.
Second sack. First one he had was a fumble, remember, early in the game. Now his second sack, and it looks like he's going to have grabbed the face mask.
Not good if you are a Rhine fan. And we know there are a number of you out there this evening.
Personal foul, grasping and twisting the face mask. Number 98 of the defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
You go from having him stopped with the sack to a fresh set of downs. Next week, the Amsterdam Arena will welcome the Galaxy. The town, the defending World League champion Claymores, will face the same Barcelona Dragons. They'll return to Spain and play in Olympic Stadium atop the mountain. And London at home in England with the Rhine Fire arriving. See the numbers for tickets throughout Europe.
Plenty of tickets available for all you people in the States. Just hop a plane and come on over.
Now you're getting back on the plane. You're going back to the States. Window seat or an aisle?
It'll make a bit of difference. They can sleep anywhere.
On first down, nursing that lead in the fourth quarter. And it was Hicks who had scored one of these touchdowns this evening. On the carry, Michael out of South Carolina State. He had a sterling collegiate career, too. Better than 4,000 yards, but it's hard to believe that 252 men were drafted before this Chicago Bears. Maybe not hard to believe, but that's the fact.
He's got some quickness. He's got some ability. He said it earlier. He just needs some time. Kittner, look out.
From behind, Dunston Anderson, and this one will stand up. His second of the night that will count. Anderson all over Kittner out of the University of Tulsa, a former Kansas City Chief and Atlanta Falcons.
He's going to beat the right offensive tackle, number 76. I don't have a 76 up there.
Let me take a look-see.
Unless it's Luca Bellarora.
I'll get back to it. Could be. We don't have that number. Third and 10. Broken up.
The third one that was in the hands and out.
Riding and hit him on the chest almost.
Yeah, nicely thrown ball. That's not the quarterback's fault. Kittner's played. He's done his part. Very, very well. That would have been a first down.
See the time remaining and the scores. So the Rhine now with time to do something, and Beckley set the booth. Career punting leader for Cowboy Jack of the New England. And here comes Thomas Bailey on the return. Movement along the line will bring flags.
Marco Marcos lined up wide, right side of your screen, moved prior to the snap. Once he said he can't move, he'll be 5 yards against
delay of game against the offense, number 10. 5 yards, still 4th down.
On the phone, upstairs, John Kitna.
I know he's not ordering a haircut because he has the clippers in his bag.
Dick Curl is offensive coordinator. A low punt.
Bad
Chance
punt.
at a return. Now Bailey lets it bound and pulled down he goes. Wrapped up and dropped.
Should never let that thing hit the ground. Bad punt like that. That's a nice return ball. Waited a little bit too long. Got smacked for it.
Hugh Hunter scampers down to wrap him up. Before this game began, P.J. Ruble had stated that he just wanted to feel the fire again on the field. What it was like to rally a team from behind and celebrate in the locker room, having contributed to a win. Well, he's on the spot right now. His team trails, and time is of the essence.
And at times he's thrown the ball well, and other times he's just been off in his timing. See, he needs it all right now.
From his 35. And floated, but it is caught inside the 40 and down to the 35. Sean Foster on the receiving end, who took it away from Carlos Brooks.
Well, he had his choice there, and he threw it to the more difficult one. He hit Foster to the middle. Schroeder was wide open to the outside. Schroeder starts in the slide. He's going to work to the top side, and they're going to clear. Foster comes back inside. Now watch the ball is thrown. It's a nice job of coming back, concentrating, and pulling that thing through.
That's a gain of 30. On the ground, a big hole down to the 20, the 19-yard line. Brought to one, Twan Carter out of Arizona. First down again as Carter rambles with running room.
It's all set up because they know they have to throw, so they're going to let people come up the field. And then Carter just flows right up inside.
That big hit, Thomas McGahee, Roderick Green, but the Rhine Fire moving now. First and 10 in the forest. Robley to Carter, who cuts inside the 15 down to the 14, 13-yard line. McGahee again up from the secondary.
Now, this is the area where the Rhine has not been good all night long. Ken Karcher now is calling those plays.
Hey, CJ! 9. CJ!
Mike Grove, the third quarterback, the emergency quarterback, along with Josh LaRocca, number 7, who walked through your picture. Only field goals so far. All cake, no icing. There's Schroeder, 5-yard line. First and goal. Roderick Green gave him a shove across the chalk.
That was pretty well conceived. They cleared out to the top side. They had Schroeder in the slot, and they just ran him out. He just dumped that ball, let him use his speed to get to the sideline as quick as he can, stops the clock, and has the first down. With 8.5 minutes left to go.
A.J. Ofadili checks in for Galen at tight end. Ofadili, the tight end, set to this side. 3 wideouts, a single running back. On the carry here, driving close to the goal line. And down inside the 1 is Carter.
They have him off balance right now. Schroeder's had himself a big night tonight. You see 100 yards. Made some catch. He's been the only one who's been consistent in the catching department. And I said it earlier, I'd keep on getting him the football.
How about Carter? Again, the Rhine has never fielded a 100-yard rusher. How about a touchdown here? Powers will lose yards. They dip. Instead of a quick hitting,
doesn't make any sense to me. That makes no sense to me. Carter is your speed man. Powers is your power man. So they take Powers, they line him up deep, and they try to get him to the outside. Makes no sense. You have to use Carter with his speed if he wants to bounce it to the corner.
Willie Smith splits the gap, makes the stop. Juan Long helping out 2. And the loss pushes the football all the way back to the 10. It's a loss of about 8 yards.
They've gagged every time they've been in the red zone.
Schroeder on the roll. TJ zips, fires, incomplete. Looking for Foster, who was very well covered. Roderick Green was draped on it.
Nice coverage by Green. Nice coverage all the way around. They took care of Schroeder underneath. I like the call. You buy some time, you take Rubley, you roll him to the outside, and now he's got to make a decision. Ball is thrown, but the coverage was there, and there's nothing to do. You have to go for it on 4th down.
You have 4 field goals to this point. You trail 27-12. In the 4th, number 12, and Rubley. Under pressure, steps up, throws as he's going down, and it's in and out of the hands of a receiver in the end zone. Incomplete. David Rhodes couldn't snare it. Oliver Barnett was chasing TJ.
Rubley, that's as good an effort as you're going to see. The ball was thrown, had a chance to make the catch, in and out of his hands, and they gag again. 27-12, Barcelona. 4th down, 5 wide receivers. Going to try to buy some time by going outside, but Imbernan, 66, comes from the backside to force this. Now, I want you to just watch the effort of Rubley. As he's falling, he has Rhodes in the back of the end zone, and that's got to be 6. That has got to be 6. It's a colossal drop
By Rhodes.
by Rhodes.
So you would have there fans of antiquity and mythology.
The Colossal of Rhodes.
Almost.
All right, I put the shot at it. One of the ancient wonders of the world.
From the culturally rich Rhine Stadium this evening in Dusseldorf, Matt Millen, along with Paul Kennedy, and you see the total yards in the second half. Better for the Rhine, but in the red zone, it just didn't work out.
And for Barcelona, I mean, they lit it up in the first half. In the second half, they've come out a little bit conservative, trying to keep the ball on the ground. They have their lead. 5.5 minutes left to go. Well, 5:50 to go.
And if Barcelona has their way, they will not see the football again. They would be content with 4- and 5-yard rips the rest of the way.
And I think if you're Jack McNeil, you have to be happy about a few things. First, you have to really be thrilled about the way Kitna played. Not only the way he threw the ball, but his decision-making, especially at the line of scrimmage where he checked off a number of times and was successful.
How will he be viewed this coming week in practice in the eyes of his teammates?
Oh, he took a big step.
Yeah, as opposed to a week earlier. I mean, on the receiving end of a pair of his touchdown passes tonight, Shedrick Wilson, who hauls one in there. I said the ball wasn't going in the air, but they throw safely to the former LSU star and captain.
Cedric Wilson had himself a pretty good night tonight as well. I think defensively they rushed the passer pretty well. I think for a first night out, if you're Jack McNeil, you've got to be pleased. If you're on the other side of the football and you're a Rhine fan,
You only got 9 seconds.
I think you got to be a little disappointed. You got to be a little disappointed in your defense not being able to make the big play when it had to.
Kitna sack. Dropped by James Wilson to stop the clock with 4:35 remaining.
And then, Paul, I think more than that is your offense in the inside the 20. Their red zone offense was atrocious. You know, occasionally they have been getting some pass rush. This time Wilson just beats his man clean with an arm over, and because the receivers are pushing down the field, no place to throw the football, you have to take the sack.
And right around Robert Couch, 310-pound guard out of Vanderbilt. The draw. Slanting off the left side. And finding the sideline. 28, it's Terry Wilburn. Lee Cole over from the secondary. All Galen can do is watch it float away.
Seemed like
the Monarchs with Stan White. The Frankfurt Galaxy in London at Stamford Bridge. Hope you're with us here. And if you're in the greater London area, you see the hotline for tickets in your screen. I'm going to go. Have a ball.
You going to be there?
London in April. It's got to be football.
Yeah.
The World League.
You ask any Brit, they say the same thing.
Absolutely. They're running the London Marathon again, too. Ketna nearly with a mistake there. On his way down, instead of eating the ball, put it up for grabs. Chris Schelling coming from the secondary on the blitz. Dropped it. You don't like to see him just throw it up there. That's where you can have a big play occur the other way.
Well, he was smart with it, though. He didn't lob it. He threw it, and he made sure it was grounded. He also had the presence to be able to find the receiver. I like what I've seen out of this kid Kitna tonight.
4 minutes and 4 seconds away from win number 1. A brand new season. The first of 10 games. Jeff Beckley, number 10. Bailey to the 35. And wrapped up. Long, the linebacker, sprinting downfield. 1 on the special team stop. The Rhine with the ball, but about out of time. T.J. Rubley for the near sideline. And that's broken up incomplete. He laid it right in there, but Michael Wright comes up to make the big hit. Michael Wright has been strong out of Washington State. The only returning cornerman from a year ago.
Michael Wright makes the break in the ball, and Thomas Bailey didn't. As Bailey come back to the football, that ball was thrown where it had to be thrown. Should have been a completion.
Rubley from the gun. TJ for the sideline and throwing on the run. And it is caught at the 37-yard line and now out of bounds. It's ruled, and Schroeder's disbelieving.
Now, Schroeder can argue, but that's a good call by the official. I saw his feet come down. He had his left foot in, but his right foot hit the line. You're going to watch it right here. The ball's thrown. Watch him come down. Up, left foot in, right foot right on the line. It's a good call by the official.
That's the difference from a season ago. Both feet now to NFL standards. I think you get back to that earlier point, too, Matt. If he was shoved, the defensive back while he was in the air. All right, TJ over to the sideline once again with 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. It's been a long opening night for TJ and the Rhine here this evening. He's had his moments, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been okay. Actually, I expected him to do a little bit better. I don't think he used the clock wisely tonight. A couple times he had opportunities in the red zone, and he hesitated. Another time the ball was thrown to the inside. I don't think he was helped too much. It may sound a little harsh, but I don't think he was helped too much from the sideline tonight because it appeared to me that they weren't really in sync with what they wanted to do. Kind of like hit and miss.
That will be their last timeout taken tonight. They have expired all of their timeouts. Barcelona, of course, with the full contention. Mathematical at this point, though. Leading 21-12. T.J. Rubley injured most of the last 3 years. At one point, bone spurs in his throwing arm had caused his passing hand to go numb. It was impossible to feel the football when he threw it.
Not good. Paul, I think you need a haircut just like that.
Takahiro Hekanue from Kwansai Gakuen in Japan. The World League, man. Spanning the globe. Rubley on the run with direction. 40. Midfield. Still running. Close to the 40-yard line. Right at it. One long. Ran a long way. But it's a first down.
And you can see a couple things here about Rubley. First of all, you can see that Rubley is competitive. Secondly, you can see he's a little PO'd about the situation they're in. I want you to watch at the end. He's going to try to finish this run, and you got to be smart at this point. Just step out instead. He puts his shoulder down.
Now, why not? And this is a man again who's been hurt, but he said really he has no long-range plans other than to play football now. There he goes inside the 40, 35-30. This time with some discretion at the 27.
You know, it's funny, speaking to him before the game, he said, one thing I learned this past season from being around John Elway is just to compete and have fun. He said John still wants to win the Super Bowl. He still gets thrilled by the crowd. And he said, and that's the reason I came here. He said, what the heck? I still want to have fun and play. He also, after 2 runs in a row, got a little bit smarter and went down instead of trying to run the guy over.
Out of the gun from his 35. Sliding over the middle. Inside the 25 to the 24.
Slot screen. 2.5 minutes left to go. You got to push the ball down the field right now. You got to work your side. You have no timeouts left. You have to work the chains and you have to work the sidelines to make everything be on your side. 2 scores, and you could win this football game.
He gets 21 more yards on the ground. He becomes the Ryan's first ever 100-yard rusher. Bailey a second time skipped it up to him. You don't have a timeout. He started to call one.
Yeah, he tried to call a timeout, but
and Ricky Powers reminding him, we've used them all.
You know, that is right there. That's a little fatigue right there. Not having enough on it. Remember, you throw, everybody talks about arm strength. Most all throwing is in your legs. You don't have legs, you got no arm.
3rd down. Rubley against that rush. Over the middle, Sean Foster fights close to what would be a first down. Here is a man who played collegiately for George Allen at Long Beach State. How's that for a National Football League name? Remember when George came back for that single season before he passed away at Long Beach State?
Mr. Ice Cream himself.
And Sean Foster had the pleasure of playing collegiately, one of the masters of the game. Around the globe, wherever you joined us this evening, we hope you have enjoyed this. 27-12, our score in the waning moments as the Rhine Fire, quarterbacked by T.J. Rubley, tries to punch in a touchdown for the first time in this game, the first time this season. Under the heat, they throw the split screen underneath. Gridline on 4th down for the first, down to the 13-yard line.
That's another kid I give the ball to. That Michael Gridline can scoop. He and Schrader both. Schrader's been quiet. He's been kind of coming in bursts. This is one of those times he needs a burst.
Gridline and Rhodes. Top of your screen. They come this way to Schrader, and he cannot handle it. Minote was in the vicinity.
But that pass makes no sense to me. You got to push it to the end zone now. You don't start trying a 3-yard quick out. That makes no sense.
Ken Karchu talking to his quarterback in Rubley. Bauer shaking his head.
You see, they've moved the ball 14 first downs in this half. But they've got to this part of the field, and they've just gagged every time. I mean, they've been down here 3 times. 3 times they've come away with nothing.
Rubley again underneath to Bailey to the 6-yard line, and he lost his footing, and he's unable to stop the clock.
Going to hurry up, which is the right thing. You have to throw it into the end zone.
Jack Bicknell, about a minute away from his 24th win in the World League. Rubley, the throw back toward the end zone. And Foster makes the catch.
Knocked down.
Incomplete. Well, close. 101.
Another 4th down. 4th time in the red zone. 4th time they've gotten to this point. Let's hope it's not the 4th time that they gag. Steps his feet and throws. Nice job of Minote getting his hand in there right at the last second.
How about Panote?
Foster would have been able to come up with a catch.
Panote's had a solid effort tonight. Trap inside. Powers punched at the 4-yard line. The clock continues to tick. He gets up off the stack, and it'll be first and goal. So it's a face-saving, last-minute touchdown for Ryan. Rubley rolls. Tipped, incomplete. That'll stop it with 33 seconds to go.
So he knew. Did he just get there? He knew.
Today's game has been brought to you by Dockers Khakis. Hey, nice pants.
Throw it in on the line, and it got knocked out. T.J. Rubley looks like he hasn't played for a while. You watch, he looked up this guy, and then he's got to know exactly what he had to do. See, he just had to just throw the ball. See, that's all he had to do. Just bloop it right over, and he had 6.
Barcelona. That is their first timeout.
Barcelona does the Rhine a favor here. That's the net effect. Calling the timeout. Your new pass-catching tandem.
My job easy. It was offensive line. There was guys like that right there that made it possible all day. It was offensive line.
Show me
Emerson
Robert
Martin.
Couch, show me something. Oh, that's Emerson Martin.
Emerson Martin doing a little dance over there.
Raise the roof.
Emerson Martin and John. Isn't that?
But they do score with what the hands see. Yeah, but if they
It's not
score
over.
with the hands team, okay, the hands team.
Jack Bicknell leading 27-12 and still knowing it's mathematically possible. Good day. A hat trick, 3 touchdown passes.
I would say he'd be our player of the game tonight if we were handing one out.
Yeah, we can. You are empowered, Matt Millen. You own 4 Super Bowl rings. Go ahead.
Thank you. I hereby decree that John Kitna was our player of the game.
So let it be written.
So let it be done.
Batted down. Incomplete. Thomas McGahee. Comes the calling. 29 seconds to go. And here's how he arrived.
And with a blitz to the left side. Unaccounted for. Remember, when you have 5 receivers in the game, there's nobody in the backfield. Once you get past that first line, heck, you're in the quarterback's face. Now they keep it back in the backfield.
On 3rd and goal. Rubley for the end zone. That is incomplete.
Line, incomplete.
Michael Wright was the defender. Britline could not hold on.
No, sir.
They've had their opportunities for touchdown passes. 3 of them.
It's kind of the storyline of this game. How many times the Rhine has been down there. And that Barcelona defense is not a lot of men. Give the Dragons some credit in all of this. Blitzing again, the slip underneath. Not even close.
Ixnay on the ass pass.
No, sir.
Made no sense.
Barcelona will win on opening night and begin the first of 10 with a victory. The Rhine Fire, which has never had a winning campaign, falls below 500 in its first outing of the year. But what's the old adage in football, Matt? The most improvement a team does, the greatest improvement is from week 1 to week 2.
Well, if they're going to improve, the biggest place for them to improve is their red zone offense. They look like they had the no plan tonight. Just kind of hit and miss, throw it up there, whatever sticks is what you go with. Unfortunately for them, nothing stuck.
They were inside the 20 repeatedly and have but 4 field goals to show for it. 3 kicked by the soccer star
Manfred Bergsmüller.
Spoken like a man who has lived in the Westphalian region most of his years.
Of Hackendakler.
Thank you very much. Galen Hall, a difficult night. Opening here his 3rd season as the head coach at Rhine on the long end of this score. Jack Bicknell and Barcelona will be dancing the Macarena on their flight home. 27-12. thanks to John Kittner, the barber of Barcelona. And Stoney Case, well, he has some thinking to do. He has seen an impressive performance. Kittner with 3 separate touchdown strikes tonight to lead Barcelona to the win. Matt enjoyed it.
Always enjoyed it.
For Matt Millen and our entire Fox crew, I'm Paul Kennedy. Good evening from Germany.